This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with an incredible illustrator, the one and only A Lanver. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at A Lanver's incredible work. Well, hello, A Lanver. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
A Lanver, doing so much better now that we're finally talking. And your skill set is so expansive. I mean, I know that illustration is kind of the bedrock of everything that you do. So let's begin with that. When did you realize that you had this love of drawing and illustrating?
So, I mean, really, it goes back very far. I think when I decided I was going to try to make it a career and change the fact that I was doodling and sketching all the time to a digital format, I think that was in like 2012 or 2013. But I think my earliest like childhood dream was probably like age 8, wanting to illustrate comic books because I was just really into that. But I think really, in maybe most interestingly, it goes back, to the toddler years, where the doodling was a way for me to just sort of click out, and that creative process was really a haven for me in just how my brain works.
Absolutely. And listen, A Lanver, and speaking with the almost 1,200 artists these past year, a lot of them have spoken about that almost reconnection with their childhood bliss when pursuing or beginning to pursue their career. And the fact that you not only have an array of illustrations that people can just take an amazing look at with the links below, but you also illustrate through commission. So someone can come to you and give you an idea, and you will create that idea for them. Talk to me a little bit about how your commissions work.
Yeah, so it's sort of strange. Like, my favorite things to do are like sci-fi or fantasy, but I've had people contact me on some very interesting ideas. And I think what I like about the commissions is it brings things to my mind that I wouldn't have gotten to on my own, because there's somebody else's vision who they say, I don't have the skill set to make this a reality. And they come to me to see how I can bring it to life.
And not only an opportunity, obviously, for you to get paid for your incredible work, but I'm sure an opportunity to kind of fine tool the tools in your tool belt.
Yeah, definitely. Because one thing that has always been interesting to me is just experimentation, just trying different things. And when I first was making the shift from traditional art to digital, I think that initial transition was sort of frustrating, to try to have the skill that I already have well developed, and knowing how I could do it on paper and not knowing how to do it in digital yet. That period was very short-lived, because one of the things I loved most about working with digital painting is the layers. And so you can just get really experimental, try some very strange things on a layer, and if you don't like it, you can delete the whole layer, and you're back to where you were before you started that experiment.
And a lot about your process and journey, A Lanver, is also the process a lot of artists have been going through these past 2 years, being forced to pick up new skills in this digital world, but also in a world where we've all been forced as artists to rest on our own devices. And the fact that you've already been doing this pre-pandemic, and on top of that, my friend, talk about taking risks. You have an amazing career also as an author, in addition to
Yeah.
creating card games. Talk to me a little bit about those two worlds and how you've used your illustration beyond drawing, but illustrating narrative and
Yeah.
illustrating gaming.
Yeah. So the card games, I was very lucky to be born in the family that I was. It's a lot of teachers and artists and musicians. And our family gatherings, even as a very young child, was people getting around the table and just playing board games or card games. And when we were like the cousins and I were a little older, we would each sort of make our own games to play test with each other at the next family gathering. And so it's always been something that my family has just done. The advantage of being an illustrator regarding creating a card game is that really cuts my costs down to just my own labor in terms of getting the visual aspect of it done. And because of that, I can self-publish in a more profitable way. So
So
that's been very nice.
that's incredible. Well, listen, Allanver, I could speak with you all day. I want to let our audience know for more on the incredible Allanver and all that he has coming up and how you can have a little bit of Allanver in your life, whether it be illustration, his books, his card games, and beyond. You can go to the links below. Allanver, I'm so excited that of an artist of such a diverse landscape of creativity and artistry is joining this brand new social media app where you're going to be able to not only connect with other artists and fans here in this country, but around the world, because it's your artistry, Allanver, that really is a universal language. And I'm curious to know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very strange thing, the role of art in culture and society, right? On the individual level, it's obviously good stress relief. It has that sort of parasympathetic, you get in the flow state. So it's very good for you. You can process some very difficult emotions in a way that's healthy. And so on the individual level, it's really a great thing. And then it's interesting to think of the role that creativity and sharing imagination with other people plays in society at large.
It's healing. It's
It
healing.
is.
I think it's healing
Yeah.
for the artist, and it's healing for a world that needs it now more than ever. And Allanver, you have something amazingly authentic, unique with your expression. And I'm so grateful for the time you took today to speak a little bit about it. And also, again, so grateful and I'm excited that we're now connected.
Yeah, likewise, Will.